Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 4, Episode 10. I apologize, peeps. I am late with my reviews. I am never on time with these things. Life has gotten complicated for me. I am so busy with work and then outside other interests. I do apologize. Hang in there with your girl. At some point, I'll be on schedule. I don't know when, but just hang in there with me. Also, you guys, try to help me grow my channel if you can. Tell your friends, tell an enemy about my channel. Always hit the thumbs up. And if you are not already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. This would help me out a lot. Anyway, moving on. But before we get into the show, did anybody see all those dramatic photos of Mary M. Cosby's son and his drug use? You know, with those photos, if you can see I'm posting them here in this video, with those photos, it's no wonder he didn't know if he was married or not. You know what I mean? If you're taking all this stuff and sipping on the lean and everything, and then I started asking myself, has this dude been hanging out at the 7-Eleven? Remember when Mary was saying that she didn't go to the 7-Eleven because, girl, your son is probably the ringleader of the crew from 7-Eleven. And I'm thinking to myself, are you really trying to act gangster? You're from Utah. You live in the suburbs. Get the entire hell up out of here. He's sipping on the lean. He even put it in a baby bottle. Holding weapons. And then what is this mess? I really met my mud wife. We soulmates. They look ridiculous. They look ridiculous. I want to know what Mary thinks about all this. Why has there not been a statement? Or if there has been, I totally missed it. Because, you know, I've been so busy. I can't be out on the Instagram all day. I have to work. I'm not like some of these real fancy YouTubers who get a lot of money from YouTube that they can, you know, quit their job and everything. Nope, I'm not there yet. Okay? I say yet, but I don't know if it ever happened. Anyway, peeps, get down in the comments. What do you think about Miss Holy Roller? I'm judging everybody, and your son is out here with this drug use, not knowing if he's married or not, living in your house, but he's got plenty of money to buy these narcotics. Get them some help now. This is too much. Her son seems like a really nice guy, but he looks like he needs some help, or he's going through some sort of crisis right now. So I'm sending up good wishes and prayers for Mary and her family. I hope that they can get a handle on this young man and his wife. Also, do you guys remember at the beginning of the season they showed what we have to look forward to coming up this season, and we saw that dramatic opening with Heather on vacation, and she was completely surprised and upset about what she was talking about on the phone? Well, they're saying that that's when she found out that Monica is the person claiming that they botched her face and not paying her bill. So it seems as if Monica had been playing in Heather's face all season, knowing that she had a past due bill and she was claiming that Beauty Lab had botched her face. I think I would be pissed off if I was Heather too. They're saying that Monica's last name was different at the Beauty Lab than the last name that she used with the girls on the show. So that's why Heather didn't know that this was the same person. I would be pissed too, and Monica would hear it from me. Like, you knew who I was. You should have just sat down and said, hey, you know, I feel like Beauty Lab botched my face, and that's why I'm not paying your bill. You know, you could have sat down and had that conversation with Heather off camera. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So at the beginning of the episode, we see Heather. She's still peddling that book around, and she's having another event. And I said, oh God, I am so over Heather and this book. I'm really done with it. I don't want to hear anything else about this damn book. But you know, she's shopping her book around. She is on the New York Times bestsellers list, I think. And you know, if you can get people to buy your book, I would keep peddling around too. Did anybody notice that when they went to Whitney's house, they showed the full label of that wine that she was setting out? It was King Charles wine. And I said, well, they normally don't just show you the full up close label. So Bravo must be getting some kickback, or that wine must belong to some Bravo celebrity. I don't know. Heather calls Lisa while she's over at Whitney's house, and she asked her if she would introduce her at her book event. And I said, this is weird. You and Lisa don't even get along. Lisa already told you that she didn't even read your book. And you want her to introduce you at this event. Uh-huh. And then all of a sudden, Whitney says, I guess we're going to have to read this book, or especially we should read the parts about us. I said, this is ridiculous that none of you can support this woman and read her book. I mean, I didn't read the book. I didn't read any Housewives books. But I'm not her friend or on the same show as her either. So when they sat down in front of this charcuterie board, which happens to be a friend of, because they have a charcuterie board in every freaking episode. Stop it with this. Can we go back to actually having full meals? This is ridiculous. Anyway, there's no way that Lisa would have sat down comfortably without me going off on her, first of all, for her behavior. Whitney waited nicely, and then she tells her, listen, I am really upset about your behavior at that event. And Lisa tries to act like she didn't do anything wrong. It was all Monica. Monica started this. No. You started this with your ridiculous behavior. And not only that, she tries to defend herself by raising her voice, screaming and hollering at Whitney's house. And I'm saying, you are really just showing who you are. You really are. Your behavior right now is the same way you were acting right in the middle of her business event, having this sound bath when everybody else was completely quiet, which makes it seem even louder. Then she's going to say in her confessionals that she can't believe Whitney was chastising her after the way she behaved at Coach Shaw's birthday. I do not think that Whitney or Jen's behavior at Coach Shaw's birthday was okay, but that was a birthday party, not a business event. They were out in public, though. It was pretty bad, but I don't think that Lisa can compare that. And Jen, Coach Shaw's wife, was even worse. So if she could act a fool out in public, I guess Whitney said, so could I. Then she said that she could also be upset that her event had a cash bar and no food. You know what? Lisa Barlow is such a narcissist, and she is so selfish. She only thinks about herself. And if you were truly friends with her, you would not bring up the fact that they had a cash bar and no food. As a matter of fact, as soon as she started trying to downplay and act like she didn't do anything, I would have escorted her to the door. Get the hell up out of here. You won't be getting any food off this charcuterie board. You are full of shit. You need to grow up and take responsibility. You acted a fool. I would have told them, please escort her out. Take these cameras out of here. I'm already in my pajamas. I'm about to go to bed with this wine. Whitney had several points in this conversation. She said, Angie is trying to please you and placate your emotions. And you can see that. And we've seen that multiple times. Not only does she try to placate Lisa, she did the same thing with Jen before she was arrested and sent off to jail. Lisa is absolutely taking advantage of this woman. And my thing is this, Angie, you already have the snowflake. You don't have to let this woman control you. And even if you didn't have the snowflake, you still should not allow this woman to control you. You are a grown, independent woman. You do not need Lisa Barlow. And she was lying. Whitney says, I think that Monica and Angie's friendship triggers you. Oh no. Angie doesn't have to not be friends with Monica for me. Yes, that is exactly what it is. You are not upset with Monica because she said something about Angie's marriage. You're upset with Monica because she saw you for who you are and she called you out on it. And now you don't want her and Angie to be friends because you're hoping that Monica doesn't help Angie realize who you really are. And when she says that she doesn't care about them being friends, Whitney says, well, your actions sure seem like you do. And they do. You are acting fourth grade again. You can't be friends with her. Get out of here. And all that screaming and hollering that she was doing upset Whitney's kids. Whitney's son came downstairs to find out what was going on. Whitney tells her, I act up with you and the girls, but I don't cuss in the house, which is a lie because earlier in the conversation, Whitney dropped the F-bomb, but I see what she's saying. This is her house. She does not want you screaming and hollering and acting like a fool in front of her children. They have a peaceful home environment. However, I thought that Whitney went a little hard. She kept reminding her over and over again, don't respect me in my home with my kids. You're scaring the crap out of my kids. She said it multiple times. I'm like, girl, I think she gets it. As a matter of fact, just show her to the exit. This is ridiculous. Normally, that I do not like Whitney. I don't listen to Whitney. Anything she is saying is usually ridiculous, but Whitney hit the nail on the head every single time. Whitney was absolutely right. And I think that she should not have allowed Lisa to talk as long as she did. You are not going to keep on trying to convince me that you are not wrong. Your behavior was absolutely ridiculous. I don't appreciate it. Don't ever do something like that again at one of my events, or you will not be invited. I'm just saying. Then Heather goes over to Mary's house. And when she gets to Mary's house, I had never realized how huge and gorgeous Mary's doorway was. And then when she says it's the first time she's ever been to Mary's house, I had just said that in my mind. Like, I don't think I ever remember seeing Heather go to Mary's house. But Heather was absolutely right when she talked about Mary's decor. Mary's decor reminds me of Giselle's house, and it's all bad. But you know what? Mary goes over the top with her decor, and it's special, just like Mary. But Mary saying that she believed that her and Heather have some sort of connection or some sort of closeness, I said, I don't see that. Not at all. She tried to blame it on the fact that Heather was so close with Jen that, it stopped them from their connection. And I don't go for that at all. Your connection was stopped by the way you treated that woman. You have always been rude to her from the jump. Then she tells Heather that she read her book, but she really only read the parts about her. And she was very upset with Heather for the things that she said. And Mary made this comment to Heather talking about when you're in the church, you can't have it both ways. You can't do this, this, and that, and then praise the Lord and all of this stuff. And you know what? I just think that a lot of religious people say stuff like that. And I think that they should really stop. First of all, you don't have a heaven or a hell to put anybody in. Second of all, somebody's beliefs are their beliefs, and that's between them and the Lord, not you. You don't have the right to judge anybody in their belief system or their actions when it comes to their beliefs. Mary, you do a lot of things and say a lot of things that the Lord would not be happy with either. We all do. So you really don't have any pedestal or any leg to stand on. It's really disgusting that you would, try to use that against her. And Heather read her passage in her book about Mary, and it was 100% true. Everything she said about Mary in that passage was absolutely true. When she said that Mary was bougie as hell, that's true. Mary is bougie and ghetto. Bougie ghetto. That's exactly who Mary is. And I did not enjoy the fact that she told that woman to her face that she looked inbred.
Well, you said I don't even know I look inbred.
Yeah, they're very old judgmental self. She has the snobbiness of a true Mormon. She don't even know she look inbred.
Do you think I look inbred?
I do.
I just want to say for the record, I don't think that anybody has the right to shame any person about their appearance. I think that it's absolutely deplorable to shame somebody about the way they look. I just hate it. And Mary was absolutely wrong for doing that. And I'm telling you right now, no pastor or first lady at any church that I have ever been a member of would ever say something like that or judge somebody on their appearance. And then for her to say that, did it really bother you? Because I'd like to apologize now. Why are you apologizing now? You just told the woman that you do think she looks inbred. You don't mean that. And let me remind you, you are married to your grandma's husband. I mean, seriously, somebody who is sitting there married and has a child with the husband of her grandma. Get the fuck out of here with this inbred bullshit. I didn't appreciate it. I don't love it. Anyway, I would have just got up and left. Bye, Mary. So anyway, we go over to Meredith and Seth, and they're doing some kind of podcast that I don't even give a shit. At some point, they had a real touching moment where Seth apologized to her for not being there for her and the kids emotionally, for only being focused on supporting them financially. It was a real beautiful moment. I did have a couple tears, and then they realized that they didn't even record the damn podcast, so none of that was recorded except for by the show. So I'm sure they can just use that footage. But get the hell on. I'm not into Meredith and her husband's podcast. Then we have Monica. Linda shows up to her house with the car, and I would have left Linda outside. Something about this scene seemed a little performative for me. I can't say that it was, but it did seem performative. Linda would have been outside with that car. I would not have taken that car back. Linda would have took that car and made the payments. This your car, Linda. I'm going to go buy myself a reasonably priced car that can accommodate me and my 4 children. You take this range and go on about your business. This is ridiculous. She came over there trying to give the car back and, saying that she'd like to go to counseling and all of this other stuff. Girl, go on. Go on somewhere. I cannot take this woman serious. She's saying they do need to go to therapy. You do need to go to therapy. Go do therapy on your own and then come see me after you have made some solid changes in your life. I think that Monica needs to get some changes in her life. Her mama needs to get some changes in her life, and then they can try to have a conversation. Monica's mom did go out online, and she said Monica had not made an on-time payment in 2 years. 2 years, not one. The first on-time payment came this year in October 23. I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm being maligned in the worst possible way. No, ma'am, we see you for who you are. We know you for your works. And Monica, listen, if you are late on these payments, it causes a problem with this woman's credit. Make your payments and get you something in your name. Return this damn car. Well, at the end of this conversation with her mom, she says that she'll think about going to therapy with her, but she leaves her mom standing out in the driveway and telling her that she needs to walk home, and she looks completely pissed off as if she's standing out there in her matching pajamas and needs to walk home, which is clearly down the street in the cold. That's the part that looked a little performative for me. So when Lisa shows up for Heather's event, Heather is acting like a pick-me, in my opinion. Oh, my friend Lisa Barlow is here. Girl, stop it. You are a grown woman who wrote a book, who owns a multi-million-dollar business, who has children who are growing up and going off to college. Why are you kissing Lisa Barlow's ass? You can find other friends. Monica shows up and the first thing she says to the bartender is, do you have any drinks that are not Vita? She is not here for Lisa in any way. Angie gets there. She's all sad, feeling like she's being blackballed by Lisa. Lisa hasn't called, texted her, or sent any smoke signals over by her house. And so now she feels that Lisa is upset. She is. She's angry, bitter, jealous. It's a problem. Monica tells Meredith about the comment that Lisa made, saying that no one wants to be her mother. And Meredith was shocked and surprised by it. I don't know why. I do not know why. After all those comments that Lisa made last season, why would you be shocked and surprised by anything this woman says? Lisa gets up there in front of all those people and decides that she's going to sing Away in the Manger. Monica busts out laughing. Angie is laughing. Lisa is upset. She is embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. Why are you up here at this book signing singing Away in the Manger? This is just ridiculous. Anyway, she got so embarrassed. She just said, well, here's Heather. Girl, this is ridiculous. But she wasn't too embarrassed that she didn't get back up there and do a little rap. Girl, please, several seats. Maybe it was the Vita. I don't even know. So after Heather reads this passage in her book, I decided to break my record of not reading any housewife books. I'm going to go ahead and read this bad Mormon book. I need to know what the hell has been going on in Heather Gay's life. I'm going to read it so that you don't have to. I did love the little moment between Lisa and Heather. They had an opportunity to talk to each other, open up a little bit, even though it has been reported all over the blogs that Jack is not on mission in Columbia. Jack is hanging out in Orange County, California. And Lisa tried to come out and say that he isn't in Columbia because his visa was delayed. But we saw you putting him on a plane at the airport. What was that about? I think Lisa didn't want her son over there in Columbia. And that's why he's probably doing his mission in OC, California. Anyway, I think that Lisa and Heather should just go on about their business, try to keep their relationship about anything but the Mormon religion. Now, the conversation that Angie tries to have with Meredith, it was interesting. Angie tries to be as aggressive as she can be with Meredith, but she don't give Lisa any of that energy. And Meredith always tries to disengage. Both of them were extremely condescending. I don't believe that apology Meredith gave her not one tiny bit. But at the same time, Meredith didn't bring out any of this information. This was Monica and Whitney. And who really needs to be blamed for it is Monica and Whitney. Angie, you need to look at those two first. Angie says that Meredith doesn't have the power to ruin her marriage. Well, if you know that is for sure, then move on. Let it go. These are rumors that have been in these Utah streets for many years. You even said that. Your husband said that. Let it go. They both agree to move on, but you know that's a lie. They are not going to move on. They're going to hold this throughout the season. We're going to get at least 4 more episodes of Angie and Meredith acting a fool. Now, when Angie goes over to Lisa's house, I was so upset and so angry at the way she talks to Angie. Angie is not one of my favorite people, but Angie does not deserve this treatment. Lisa tried to play victim. She was very bullying. She was gaslighting to Angie. She's trying to manipulate this woman and control her. And for her to call Angie weak, I think that you are the one who is actually weak. You are the one who is actually weak, and you are using this woman and trying to bullshit her and trying to be rude and disrespectful to this woman to get her to do what you want her to do. I don't know. I just wouldn't be friends with Lisa if I was Angie. Lisa is somebody who is stuck in her own bubble, and she doesn't realize that some of her comments and actions really affect the people around her. It would be hard for me to be friends with her knowing that she didn't give a shit about my feelings or opinions, that our friendship just circles her and her life and her feelings. No, ma'am, we are done. This friendship is over. I'm out. Period. Anyway, peeps, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.